All right, so let's sit up nice and tall, any comfortable seat, either shins crossed or in Virasana Vajrasana. Close your eyes, start to lengthen through your spine. And begin to come into your Ujjayi breathing. So a slight constriction in the back of the throat as you're breathing in and out. And through the nose whenever possible. It's our last evening class this week in Italy. And so for this class, like the other classes, I'll invite you to revisit your intentions. So your intention to manifest, what is it that you'd like to bring into your life? And what are you ready or willing to let go of? What's no longer serving you anymore? You can leave it right here in Sprlanga. And then we'll bring our hands together in front of the heart and offer up all of our intentions with an Om together. Join if you wish. Exhale everything out. Inhale for Om. Release your hands and let your eyes softly blink open and make your way into child's pose. So just come onto the hands and knees and then stretch your hips all the way back to the heels. Good. And spread out through the fingers. Nice. So we'll keep the hands right where they are. Start to lengthen the arms so the elbows straighten out. And then as you take your inhale, come up onto your knees and drop your belly, lift your chin and tailbone up. And then as you exhale, round the back, press away from the floor, and then take your hips all the way back to the heels, keeping the arms extended. And let's do that a few times, warming up. Inhale to come forward. Widen across your collarbones, draw shoulder blades toward the waist. Exhale, press away from the floor, round the back. Chin toward chest, hips toward heels, all the way back. And again, inhale to come forward. Bring your heart forward through the gates of your arms. Exhale, press away from the floor and take your hips to the heels. Nice, one more time, inhale. Widen across the collarbones, lift the chin and tailbone, exhale. Round the back, take the hips all the way back to the heels and pause, good. And then from here, we'll inhale. Actually, let's keep the arms extended, come up onto the knees again and come back to, or come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And make sure the arms are shoulders distance apart and the feet are hips width. And just start to bicycle the legs here, bending one knee and the other as you warm up in your first down dog tonight. Good. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Press into the base of your fingers as your forearms lift. And begin to settle into your down dog. So take your chest back toward the thighs. Turn the outer upper arms back. The inner upper arms, biceps forward, pull the ribs in and stretch through the spine. Good. As you inhale, make your way into plank pose. And as you exhale, knees can be up or down, lower all the way down to your belly. Hug the elbows in as you lower. Good. Take your hands by your, actually interlace fingers at your low back or hook your thumbs. And lift the shoulders away from the floor. Inhale, lift into Shalabhasana, lifting the legs and the torso. Keep the back of your neck long. Take one more breath here. Good. And lower down. Good. Release your hands a moment. And now reclasp, other pinky or thumb on top. Lift the shoulder heads away from the floor, pull the belly away from the floor. Inhale, lift everything up. Press the pubic bone down gently to reach your sitting bones towards your heels. Keep the back of the neck long. Good, and lower down. All right, slide your hands by your rib cage, your low ribs, elbows pointing straight up. Tuck your toes under. Some of you will keep your knees down for this, some of you will keep your knees up. Pull your belly away from the floor and really engage it. Take an inhale. As you exhale, see if you can press straight up into plank, knees up or down. Nice. And then lift the hips, come to down dog. Good job. Nice. A couple breaths here. Good. Now from here, we're going to do a little variation on plank, and you're welcome to keep your knees down for this as well. As you inhale, make your way into plank, top of a push-up. Now as you exhale, almost like a cat pose, round your upper back. So you're still in plank, but just round your upper back. Pull your belly in, press away from the floor. Inhale, bring your chest forward toward regular plank. Exhale again, round your back, bring your chin in a little bit. Keep the hips down though, we're not lifting the hips. Inhale, regular plank, chest forward. Okay, one more time, exhale, round the back. So try and keep your hips right where they were. Hips there, yes, press right here. Yes, inhale, regular plank, bring the chest forward. Exhale, chaturanga, knees can be up or down. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, down dog. Nice. Good work. Stretching back. Remember, you can take a child's pose anytime you like. Take a break if you need it or want it. It's always your option, always your choice. Take 2 more breaths here. It's already warm, huh? 1 more breath in. Exhale it out, bend the knees, keep your hips high, step or lightly float your feet to your hands. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway up. Exhale, fold over the legs, bend the knees as needed. Pressing through the feet, rise up, inhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale for Samasthiti. Good. Come to the front of your mat. Big toes together. Heels slightly apart or feet hips distance. And inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Bend the knees as needed. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. Exhale, stepping back or float back, find chaturanga. Remember, jumping with elbows bent if you're jumping. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, shoulders right above the wrists. Exhale, down dog. Good. As you inhale, float your right leg back and up. Yes, bend the knee, open the hip. Good. Press evenly through the arms and the shoulders. Keep the ribs in. Then take the leg back to center, square off the hips. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, shoulders over wrists, and see if you can round that upper back just a little bit. Yes. Inhale, lift the leg. As you exhale, do the same thing. Knee toward nose, shoulders over wrists, press away from the floor. This time, look forward, step it lightly between the hands. Spin your back heel down, come to warrior 2 as you inhale. Good. Exhale here, just find your pose. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. The front hip is drawing down. The knee points over the middle toes. Lift your chest. Soften through the shoulder blades. Lift your back inner thigh. Now we have our alignment all taken care of. Let's just breathe. And keep the inhales and exhales equal in length. Soften the shoulders and the jaw. Good. Nice. And then reverse your warrior. Drop the left arm to reverse. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, side angle. Lean forward, right forearm to right thigh. Reach your left arm up and over, spin your tricep down. Feel free to take the right hand down to the foot, floor, or block. But keep drawing the front hip under. Good, this way, Okay, 2 more breaths. Stretch out the spine, side stretch. Inhale, come back into warrior 2. And exhale, cartwheel the arms down and go to down dog any way you like. You can move through vinyasa or right into downward dog, your choice. And inhale to float your left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip as you exhale. Good. Inhale, square off the hips. On the exhale, bring knee toward nose, shoulders over wrist, press away from the floor. Nice. Inhale, lift the leg back and up from the inner thigh. Exhale, knee toward nose one more time. Shoulders over wrists. Now look between the hands. Step the foot lightly in the middle. Spin the back heel down. Warrior 2 as you come up. Inhale. Exhale here. Make sure your knee's over your ankle. Press the knee toward the little toe side of the foot and lift the back inner thigh. Press into your front heel and the outer edge of the back foot. And now just breathe. Find some softness around the shoulders and jaw. Evening out the breath. Nice. Keep the front knee bent. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, bend into the left knee a little bit. Inhale, make your way back up. And exhale, lean forward. Take left forearm to the thigh. Reach the right arm up and over. Spin the tricep down. You can keep the forearm on the thigh or take the hand down to the floor. Or block. Or ankle. 3 breaths. 2. And inhale, warrior 2, come on up. And exhale, windmill the arms down. Either go right into down dog or step to plank. Lower chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale, up dog, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, downward dog. Let's stay for a few breaths. Or if you're ready for child's pose, you can take it now. We're all gonna meet there shortly. Keep stretching back in your down dog. Keep the ribs and bellies pulled in and up. Good. Spinning the inner thighs back. Good. And let's all take the knees down for child's pose rest. Good. Come back to your steady breathing. And get your inhales and your exhales again to be equal in length. Good. Relax the shoulder blades, relax the jaw. Good. And then let's make our way up again onto the hands and knees. This time, walk your hands and knees so that they're close together. Probably, what is this? How far is this? Jackie, what do you think? 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters. Or 6 inches, thank you. I don't know what I will do without you. So we're gonna practice pressing up into the back, pulling the belly and ribs in. So a cat pose, but then extend your right leg back as you inhale. Drop the outer right hip down, and now exhale, bring your right knee all the way up towards your right shoulder and press it in there. Remember the shoulder? So you can get it up a little toward the shoulder. Good. And extend the leg back and set it down. Good. Now we'll do the left side. So take the left leg back as you inhale. Good, so the knees and the hands are close. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. Get it up as high as you can. See if you can press the knee right into the arm. Good, squeeze it. Nice. Extend the leg back on your inhale and set it down as you exhale. Good. Keep the hands and knees close. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, bring it around. Try and touch your right tricep or shoulder and squeeze it in there as you press away from the floor. Pull your ribs and belly in. Round the upper back. Nice. Lift the leg up, inhale. Exhale, set it down. One more. Left leg back, inhale. Exhale, bring it around as high up as you can on the arm, and then press it in there. Press, press, press. Round the back. Pull the ribs and belly in. Nice. Extend the leg back on your inhale and back down as you exhale. Come back to child's pose, and this time keep the arms extended in front. And from here, keeping the arms extended in front, make your way again into downward facing dog, please. Just for a moment. Just for a moment, promise. Good. All right, look to your hands. We're gonna come through and sit, either stepping or hopping to seated. But don't get too excited. We're still gonna do some stuff. So grab your block, and I'm gonna take the block, and I'll give this to you in a second. I'm gonna take the block the skinniest way. You'll come onto your back, take it the skinniest way between your thighs, and then lift up and reach your fingertips forward. Okay, so onto your back, take the block the skinny way, all the way down. So squeezing the block, and it's not like tabletop position. If you're used to Pilates, this will be a little bit different. You're gonna draw your knees in toward your belly, and then lift your head and shoulders and reach your fingertips forward, let your back round. If it bothers your neck, cradle the head. Good. 5 breaths. Keep rounding. Yeah, squeeze it in like you were gonna touch your knees to your forehead. 3, and 2, and 1. Release. Good. Now, remove the block and take it so that it's one fatter, I guess, one thicker. So it's gonna be in this. So from here, we'll flip it like this and hold it, okay? All right, thank you. So taking the block between the inner thighs once again, in the medium width. Inhale, bring the knees in toward your chest, lift your head and shoulders, reach your fingertips forward. Again, if it bothers the neck, please cradle the head. Good, can you reach up just a little bit more, squeezing the block, rounding the back for 3, belly in, keep breathing, 2, and 1, release. Good job. All right, take the block out and now make it the widest variation. Yep, the widest variation. Last one. Draw the knees in toward the belly. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders. Reach, reach, reach your fingertips forward. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching for 3, 2, keep breathing. 2.5, 2 3/4, and release. Nice. All right, we can't make the block any wider, so put it off to the side for now. And then hug your knees into your chest. Good. And then reach your legs out and stretch your arms overhead and just stretch out your belly for a moment. So stretch, stretch, stretch. It's a really long stretch, I know. Watching you might make contact with your neighbor. You guys have been together all week, so it's all okay. And then hug your knees back into your chest. Good, take your feet to the floor. Or actually, you can either roll to your right to come up, or you can rock back and forth and rock yourself up. Take a couple rocks and come up. Good. Yep. Yeah, you can come up to standing. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. All right, you guys all want to try it because Adita just, now I feel like we've been inspired. So onto your back. So pause if you can. Now, if not, you're gonna use your hands to press yourself up. You're gonna rock, 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 come all the way up. It's tricky. We're not gonna, good, nice. Good, all right. So now, if you're not standing, make your way to standing. Take your feet wider than hips width. We're gonna come into malasana, a squat. So for many of us, the toes will turn out because we want the toes and knees to point in the same direction. If you have knee issues, don't go down so low, okay? I'm gonna come down into malasana and take your hands to the floor. If you're right at the very front of your mat, you might wanna scoot back just a little bit. Sure. Yep. And then take your hands to the floor. Now, just like when we were on our hands and knees before and we were taking the knees to the shoulders and squeezing, and then when we were just on our back and we were holding that block and squeezing, rounding the back, we're gonna do that same thing. This is a variation of Bakasana. Keep your gaze forward in front of you, don't look down. Start to shift your weight forward little by little, and maybe a foot will come up. Maybe another foot. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Round the back, pull in through the belly. Nice. Good. Yep. Good. And release it. Very good. Okay. If this is newer to you and you're a little bit nervous about falling forward, you can take your mat and just fold the edge of it so you have just a little more padding at the front of your mat. Most of the time you won't need it, but just in case, most of the time, but just in case, it's there. So I find that little variation of Bakasana to be a little bit easier. You can stay with that if that's comfortable for you. If you want to work in toward the full Bakasana version, then similarly, you'll take your feet together, hands down, knees to armpits, look forward, and it's all the same thing. Shifting the weight forward, start to round the back, and squeeze your legs toward each other, just like we did before. And then you might even take fancy. You might even take a chaturanga, who knows? All right, so either the version we just did or, nice, take the knees up a little higher. Oh, yes, nice. So if you do want to take that chaturanga, I'll just warn you now, if you're committing to do it, don't change your mind halfway through. If you do, you're gonna land on your knees or your belly and you're like, ah. So if you're gonna do it, you'll shoot the legs back and land in chaturanga like you've been practicing jumping back, okay? So take your knees as high up towards your armpits as you can, or if you're gonna stay with the other variation, you'll stay lower, yeah? Start to shift the weight forward, squeeze the legs, round your back, keep your gaze forward, maybe take the feet together and bring them up and maybe chaturanga, woo! I did it! Nice job. Good.
I've never done it before.
Yay! Hi! So either you'll do that, let's come into child's pose for a moment. Child's pose for a moment, okay? Now, if it was difficult for you to get into Bakasana, I have one more little trick up my sleeve. I have to borrow someone's block though. So if it was hard to get yourself into Bakasana, you can try one more little trick. It's a little bit scarier because you're up higher, but you don't have as far to go to tip into the pose. So if you stand up on your block, and then you take your hands down, same thing, knees to armpits, keep the gaze forward, round the back, press away from the floor, pull the ribs and belly in. You just don't have as much distance to go from feet off the floor, okay? So one more practice, one more time. So in Sanskrit, in yoga, we talk about abhyasa viragya. Abhyasa means practice. Viragya means detach, let go of the results. It's never about the pose. So if this one isn't working for you tonight, it's totally not what it's about. Good. Nice work. Oh, that was a changed your mind. That's a change your mind one, yeah. Ouch. Knees okay? Nice work. Good job. Good. Woo, very good. Oh, that was a changed my mind. Ouch. Sometimes they change my minds. Ouch. All right, before anyone has to make a trip to a medical professional, you okay? All right, let's make our way back to child's pose, please. That was enough excitement for one night, don't you think? Good job, you guys. Back to child's pose. Good. Return to your steady ujjayi. So again, abhyasa, vairagya we practice, and then we detach from any results. It's not ever about the pose. Although this pose is, of course, really good at a party. But other than that, it really doesn't matter if we do it or not. What matters is the intention that we are paying attention to our breath and our body and connecting. Let's reach the arms forward again and make your way into downward facing dog. Good. Nice. As you inhale, we'll lift the right leg back and up from the inner thigh. And exhale, step it up in between the hands, right in the middle. Spin the back heel down. We'll come back into warrior two on the inhale. Good, exhale here. Make sure you're lined up heel to arch with your feet. Very nice. And then reverse your warrior, inhale. Take an exhale, bend into the knee. Keep reversing, this time straighten the right leg, reverse triangle. Good, and then inhale, make your way up, arms to a T. Hinging from your front hip, reach, reach, reach forward. Take your right hand down to the shin, foot, floor, or block. Are your knees okay?
No, knees are fine. I'm a little bit dizzy, so that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna wait until you're not. Stretch up through the top arm. Try and bring your bottom rib cage forward. Good. Top ribs back. Lean your head right into my hand. Yeah, and then, is that okay on your neck? Okay. Good. Now we'll inhale and extend the left arm toward the front. And then as you exhale, just sweep it around in a circle. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, reach it forward. Exhale, circle. One more, reach up, inhale. Exhale, circle. Good, reach the arm up. And look down at the front foot. Make your way all the way up to standing. Exhale, bend the front knee a little, windmill the arms down. Either go right into downward dog or make your way through a vinyasa. On the inhale, float your left leg back and up. And then exhale, lightly step it up between the hands. Spin your back heel down, back to warrior two. Nice. Exhale here, again, making sure the knee is over the ankle, your heel to arch. Move that out of the way for you. I got it. Draw the front ribs in, drop your front hip down. Then hold the knee, reverse your warrior. Good. Bend into the left knee a little if you can. Very nice. Keep reversing, straighten the left leg. Exhale here. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hinge from the front hip. Reach, reach, reach as far as you can comfortably. Take the left hand down, shin, foot, floor, or block. Reach up through the top arm. Lean your torso back over the thigh like you have the wall behind you. So your front hip is moving under you. And then press into the big toe side of the left foot. Make sure that the leg is firm but not locking at the knee. And then take your top arm forward as you inhale. Good. Exhale, circle it around, stretching the shoulder. Inhale, reach the arm forward. Exhale to circle. And once more, inhale, reach. Exhale, circle it around. Stretch the right arm straight up on your inhale. Look down at the front foot and come all the way up to standing. And then little bend in the knee, windmill the arms down, vinyasa. Either through chaturanga or skip it and go right into down dog, your choice. Good. All right. Let's take a few breaths here. Pressing the weight up to the hips and down through the heels. How's your back feeling?
Always tight.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Keep the ribs drawing in here. Keep the belly lifted as you stretch back. Nice. Take another long breath in. Now, just come down to the knees for a moment and look forward. I had a couple questions about jumping through to seated. So, while we're here, we might as well address it, because we're going to do that next. So when you look forward and you're getting ready to jump, if you jump, you'll keep your hips high, take a little hop, and cross at the shins. And it's really, you don't have to come all the way through. Instead, bending the knees, look up, take a little cross at the shins. And you can do it just very gently. If that doesn't seem to work, like the whole hopping thing, you can just skip the hop and walk and sit. All of those are perfectly acceptable. Some people even jump through with their legs straight, just straight through like a pike position. I've never been able to get that because you have to have really good proportions of your torso to your legs. I got the short little torso. It's a blessing and a curse. It works really well for twists, but is not that good for fashion. So let's come back to downward facing dog, please. And we'll practice coming through to seated. So first, bend the knees, look up past your fingers, keep your hips high. And whenever you're ready, take your little hop or step, cross the shins, and sit. Yay! Good. Yay! Okay, and then I had questions about picking things up. And we talked about it earlier, but other people have been asking too. That core work. Now I have to say, this core work is easier to do when you have a block here and a block there, but we don't have that, so we're gonna have to improvise. First thing, you can do palms flat. If it bothers your wrists at all, make fists with your hands, and that'll actually bring you up a little bit higher, like being on blocks. But with your shins crossed, you're gonna just take your hands right next to your hips, either palms flat or make fists. Keep your feet on the floor and just lift your buns. And try to round your back like a cat pose. Feet on the floor. Good, try it. Try it, you can do it. And then sit back down. So you can feel when you're lifting up, you're really drawing in the belly and the ribs as much as you can, like you do in cat pose, okay? The second part of it, hands on the floor or fists, this is easier. Keep your sitting bones pressing down and just bring your knees up toward your shoulders. Bring them up as high as you can. Shoulders. And release. Ooh, that's a shoulder. Okay, now we try to do those two things together. Easier said than done. We'll lift the hips up and then we'll try to bring the knees up to the shoulders. You ready? Okay. So if you are pretty strong in the core, you can keep your palms flat. Or if you have very long arms, you can keep your palms flat. Otherwise, you make fists. Press down, lift your butt, bring your knees in. Oh, and then set it down. Good work. So when you're practicing at home, if you have two blocks at home, practice it that way. First your butt up, then your feet, then try both. Okay, this is another way that we can strengthen these muscles. Extend the legs out in front of you. And then scoot your body forward so that you have your feet on the floor a little bit instead of on your mat. If possible, bring about your calf all the way forward if you have room. Yep. Hands flat. Even us short arm people, we're gonna keep the hands flat. We're gonna press down into the floor, lift your butt up, and slide your feet back. Slide your feet forward, sit your buns down. Pretty good? I hear the oh. Yeah. That's how I know it's working, if you feel that, oh, you hear that. All right, let's try it again. Press down, you're gonna lift up, and slide your feet back. Slide your feet forward, sit down. Did it work? Okay, if it didn't really work very well, you can also try this with the fists. You'll get up a little bit higher, but it's really pulling from the core muscles more than from the arms and shoulders, believe it or not. Sometimes I don't believe it myself, but that's what they tell me. So hands or fists down, lift up, pull back. Woo. Slide forward. Nice work. Take your feet flat, lie down. Ah. Walk your heels in so they're under the knees, and take your feet about hip socket distance apart. Point your toes in a little bit, setting up for bridge pose. Yay, bridge pose. So now we'll stretch out the whole front of the body after our core work. Pressing into the heels. Inhale, lift your hips. Low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Spiral the thighs in. Yep. Maybe rolling the shoulders under if you can, and releasing fingers, or keep the palms flat. Keep the chin away from your chest. For 3. And 2. And come on down. And then take the soles of your feet together, let your knees drop apart, rest. Let's put one hand on the heart center, one hand on the belly. And again, revisit your intention of what you want to manifest, what you want to bring into your life. With this open heart energy, it's a good time to focus on manifesting. Let's bring the feet back to the floor. Hip socket distance apart, heels under knees. We'll take another bridge pose. Some of you might want to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. If you're going to take wheel pose or upward facing bow, you'll bring your hands up by the ears. Some of you might decide to take supported bridge, and you can take your block, put it right at the base of the spine. So hands up by your ears, elbows up if you're going up, or hands by your sides. As you're ready, if you're going into wheel, pause at the crown of the head, line up wrists and elbows, and then straighten through the arms. Stretching out the front of the body. In bridge pose, you're coming up, spiral the thighs in. Good, take 2 breaths. And come down to rest. Do you want some help up?
Sorry?
Do you want any help up?
Well, no, sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I just...
You didn't do enough shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Hand on the belly, hand on the heart. Return to your intention, what you want to bring in. Good, last one. Arms by your sides for bridge, or hands up by the ears for Urdhva Dhanurasana, or grab your block and put it at the base of your spine for supported bridge. Whenever you're ready, hands by the ears or arms by your sides, make your way up. Take about 5 breaths, and then when you're finished, you'll come down and hug your knees into your chest. And keep reaching your sitting bones toward the backs of your knees, hip bones toward the low ribs, and breathe. If you're all the way up, be sure to bring your chin into your chest first, and then come down. And then this time we'll hug the knees into the chest. And gently rock here side to side. If you're in supported bridge and, oh, you already came down. I was going to say if you want to stay a little longer, it's okay. But you already came down. And then again, you can either, actually before we do that, let's grab the block, take the feet back to the floor, come into supported bridge, put the block right at the base of your spine, and put it in the medium or low height. This might work for you, let's see. Okay. Good. And then drawing your knees in toward your belly, lift your legs up. Good. Now if the block doesn't feel very good where it is and you want to do it without, that's okay too. Okay. And if you're comfortable with it, close your eyes. Let's move it down a little bit. Okay, come back down. It's okay. Come back to your steady Ujjayi breathing. And while you're here breathing, revisit your intention of what you would like to release. What you're ready to let go of, setting it down, leaving it behind, something that you don't need anymore. And gently bend your knees, take your feet back to the floor, lift up off of your block, set it off to the side, and hug your knees back into your chest. And then either you can roll yourself back and forth to come up to seated, or you can roll to your right and carefully, gently press up. And extend the legs in front of you for Dandasana. So if you're rounded in your back at all, sit up on the edge of your block. That'll give you more height in the spine. Pull your toes back, hands right next to the hips. Lift your chest, roll shoulder heads back a bit. Flex your feet so your legs are firm. And then inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, hinge from the hips and come forward for Paschimottanasana. Good. Pull the toes back. Try and keep length through the spine. So instead of thinking head to knees, think belly toward thighs. Good. Release any tension around the neck and the shoulders. Two more long breaths. And then inhale, lifting your head. Exhale, release your feet. If you're sitting up on your block, you can slide it off to the side. Bend your knees, take your feet onto the floor. If you have any back issues, take your hands to the floor. If your back is good, sitting tall, use your belly muscles to roll yourself onto your back. So keep the spine kind of long as you roll down, but keep the belly lifted. Yeah, very nice. Good. Hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg straight out onto the floor. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, take your right knee over to the left side for a twist. Looking over your right shoulder. Good. So as you're twisting here, try and turn your belly up toward the ceiling as much as you can comfortably. Inhale, make your way back to center. Draw your left knee in toward your chest, extend your right leg out. And exhale, bring it over to the right side. And looking over the left shoulder unless it bothers your neck. Good. Keep your breath nice and steady. And try and turn your belly up toward the ceiling as you twist. And inhale, make your way back through center. And hug both knees into your chest one more time. And as you're here with the knees hugging in, reach your tailbone toward the floor, lengthen out your spine. And then as you're ready, slowly make your way into your final resting pose, into Shavasana. So if you have something you want to cover up with, or if you have something to put under your head or under your knees, take a few moments to get comfortable. Once you're comfortable, let yourself sink right into the floor. A quiet mind and quiet body for Shavasana. And while you're here resting, just bring some awareness back into your body. Just taking your attention to your breath again. For our quote from Hafiz, a Persian poet born in 1325. And still, after all this time, the sun has never said to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the sky. Begin to make some little movements in your fingers and your toes. hands and your feet, your arms and your legs. Take a long stretch. And then bringing the arms back down by your sides, bend your knees. Roll yourself off to your right and pause here for a moment. Pausing to think of 2 things that you're grateful for today. 2 different things tonight, if you can. And then using your left hand, press yourself up gently to a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, let's take our hands together in Anjali Mudra, Mudra of Reverence. We'll close our practice this evening with the divine sound of Om, exhaling everything out. Inhale for Om. Let's bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Sending out this positive energy we created tonight to all beings everywhere. Namaste.